If you're back in this video, you're probably gonna realize what I'm doing. Yeah, it's winter weather service. Yes, snow does exist, but we're gonna cover every single line that is affected. These are all the lines that we're gonna cover today. Now, would you now let's look at all the lines that are affected by the hard weather. First off is the normal one. It's the A train. The A train is although the A train is slight, it's about to get cut short because of the winter weather. The A train runs above ground in Queens, and because the weather might affect it, it has to terminate at Euclid Avenue, the C train's terminus, which we're gonna get to in a few minutes. But I think you're gonna guess right now, the C train is probably gonna be suspended. If the C train wasn't suspended, it could help out with the A train's express service. Yeah, it doesn't seem normal to you, right? Here's how the A train will terminate on the middle track at Euclid Avenue by using a switch that will take it to the express tracks. Now, that might not seem as normal as it usually is, but hey, that's Hollywood for you. Anyways, the next one we have. Anyways, there's a well-known one. Yes, it's the C train. It's suspended on late nights and winter weather service because because we need service that can stop at all stations, and the A train has to service for the C train. Next up is another one. It's the B. I know I just skipped over the E for no reason, but hey, I'm gonna get to that. I have it in one of my videos. Anyways, the B is also suspended in this case because well, the D train is already using Broadway Lafayette Street for a terminal. And remember as well, the B train can't use Delancey Street, Essex Street for a terminal because it's too wide for the J tracks. Notice that the best line of play here is to actually send the B to Utica. Would have been the best line of play here would have been to send the B off of 6th Avenue at West 4th Street and send it up to Utica Avenue via express. That would have been very rare to see a B train on Fulton Street local. Then could run via express with the E train. You may think that's kind of rare, but hey, it could happen. Next up is the D train. Now the D train is going to be cut back to Broadway Lafayette Street because remember the D runs express to Coney Island, local to Coney Island, and runs above ground. You didn't realize that. So just about every train that goes to Coney Island is going to stay underground. Yeah, and even though the F is still running local, that means the D has to stay local. Speaking of the E and the F, our next train is right here. It's the E train. The E train is normally an express service. However, since the M train is not going to be running, the R will still run, and the E train and the F train will still run on the express track. But let's take a look at what could happen. Now, if we go into my maps, you can see, even though the R train is serving the terminal, the E and F trains have to run local. It wouldn't really matter in a certain case. Hey Drew, isn't a name given? Now, Kind of rigged, but hey, that's Hollywood. That's Hollywood for you. And despite the fact that the E train does run express in Queens, it doesn't matter. They have to help the R train out. Always help each other out, people. It wouldn't matter. Anyways, anyways, next up is the F train running Queens. It also has to run local, but despite that, it has to terminate at J Street because Bergen Street is used by the G because Bergen Street is being used by the because the winter weather terminus for the G is Bergen Street. And that seems kind of weird and kind of dumb for an idea. Speaking of that, I used to have a video of the G train, but I don't have that today. Luckily, I do have a video of the next train we're gonna go by. You guessed it, it was the J train. The J train is only shuttling in Manhattan due to the winter weather. It will still run to Broad Street, but cannot run in Queens because the line would be too short to shuttle in Queens. And of course, another important one would be the M train, probably. Because the M is going to be suspended all the time the big winter fall is happening. Yeah, you guessed it. The M is not going to be running at all. No, sir. So, for any passengers who want to get access to the M, remember, you can use the A, B, C, D, E, F, and M trains, or any train that connects to the M train. So next up is the Broadway lines. Probably one of my favorite lines in the city subway system. Let's see. Of course, we have to go in order with the Broadway lines. So I think it would be fair to start with the N train. The N train runs express in Manhattan and local because the W didn't. Because the W came back, the W is a full local service. That means the N train it runs express from Canal Street to 34th Street, and local from 34th Street Herald Square to 57th Street. However, that's gonna have to change because now the N train terminates at 59th Street and Lexington Avenue. Sounds bizarre, right? Yeah? Yes?
12 o'clock. Got 4 minutes. You start your 20 minutes again.
Okay. Anyways. The N train is gonna service for the F train at 34th Street Herald Square, which I mentioned in my N train service train in my N train service trains video. Anyways, next up is the Q. Now it's obvious that the Q is probably gonna terminate at Canal Street, or the best idea is to send it via the R line, Bay Ridge 95th Street, which is an okay idea. However, that would cause a lot of confusion on the Bay Ridge line, and we don't want that for passengers. So the Q trains are going to leave it short and sweet at Canal Street and only run in Manhattan. Next up is the R train, which will remain completely normal remaining as a full local service in Manhattan. It will provide a connection for passengers to 59th Street station, mainly because the N train will be turning at 59th Street during the winter blizzard. But hey, that's normal for some people. And yes, that is another Q train, but all I need is the N train clip I used to get. Anyway, Well, mainly because, well, we've covered most lines that have been affected. But wait, we're still not done. You're not forgetting about one train that had a debut and then got subsequent. It would be fair. Yes, I think you already know what I'm talking about. It's the W train, isn't it? No, think, come on, NYC. Roblox W can terminate Lexington Avenue 59. You think it can terminate at 96th Street, which is an okay idea. But remember, there are two reasons why this could happen. There are two reasons why this. Yeah.
One more minute.
Okay. There are a few reasons why this couldn't have happened. One, the W is only a weekday running service, and the Blizzard would mostly hit on the weekends, which would cause some service to be disrupted. Two, Lexington Avenue 59th Street is already used and for a terminal, so that would hold up many N trains. You think rerouting it to Forest Hills would be a good idea, but the R trains are going to have to run very slow due to the N trains terminating there. So overall, we're not quite done yet. We're quite done. And you probably forgot about. You think I forgot about the 7. I don't forget about our Queens line. Anyway, the 7 will only run in Manhattan and Queens. Yes, Long Island City, between Hunters Point Avenue and the famed 34th Street Hudson Yards. Yep, that's all we got for now.